Hello, welcome to the Mafia Minute. Today we're going to be doing a This Day in Mafia History episode. I'll be doing these every day or every other day. Today's October 30th, 2023. We're going to be throwing it back to October 30th, 1980, with the death of Frank the Barracuda Sindone, a soldier in the Philadelphia crime family. Frank was found in an alley behind the G.C. Murphy store at 2001 Oregon Avenue, only 2 blocks from his home. Police said Sindone's hands and feet were tied together behind his back, as was what was described as a crab position. His clothing had been stripped of identification. A second, smaller plastic bag was over his head. Rope, apparently clothesline, has been wrapped around the body at the ankles, knees, waist, and chest, pinning the arms to the side. Now, why was Frank the Barracuda Sindone killed? Let's go over the history. In 1980, there was a plot to kill Angelo Bruno, which consisted of Tony Bananas Caponegro, Johnny Key Simone, Frank the Barracuda Sindone, and Funzy Thierry. Now, this plot was not sanctioned by the commission. They wanted to kill Angelo Bruno because they thought he was greedy. They wanted to take some of his rackets, and Sindone thought he could be the underboss, and Tony Bananas Caponegro, who was the leader of the whole coup, thought he could just be the boss of the Philadelphia Mafia. Well, this was not the case, as Funzy Thierry, a Lucchese powerful mobster, promised Tony Caponegro that he would be the boss and Frank Sindone would be the underboss. It was never sanctioned by the commission, and this would end up to haunt both of them, as Tony Caponegro and his brother would be dead in 1980, with dollar bills shoved up their asses in a trunk of the car to show that they were greedy. Sindone's murder was actually one of the last of the retaliations for Angelo Bruno. Now, how they set Frank the Barracuda Sindone up was simple. Nicky Scarfo suggested to Angelo Bruno that Frank was a snake and he needed to go. Angelo accepted on October 29th, 1980. Salvi Testa, Chucky Merlino took Frank the Sindone to a house in Philadelphia where Frank Monty, the consigliere of the family, was waiting. As Frank went to go shake Frank Monty's hand, Chucky Merlino unloaded 3 into the back of Frank Sindone's head. This would be the end of the Barracuda. After Frank the Barracuda Sindone was killed, Philip the Chicken Man Testa, the boss, would announce his operations would be split between his killers, Salvatore Testa, Chucky Merlino, and Frank Monty. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Mafia Minute. I hope we cover the death of Frank the Barracuda Sindone well. The only reason we did this episode today was because this is the day that they found his body, October 30th, 1980. And yeah, hopefully we'll pump more episodes like this out, this day in Mafia history. And thank you for tuning in to the Mafia Minute.